Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rocha HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. So I just want to play a couple of news clips. All right, as we know, the time that we are in, a lot of pandemonium and tensions are running very high throughout Babylon and throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, because as we see, this is the time of the Lord's judgment. Okay, the year of His redeem, Lord willing. Okay, we're getting closer and closer to that time. Scripture says we don't know the day or the hour, but we know the seasons by way of the signs. All right, that we're told to look after. Okay, Yahweh Shai told the disciples about the signs that will happen before his return. So this is how we know that our salvation is near at hand. All right, the day of the Lord is right around the corner. Okay, so I just want to play a few clips, and Lord willing, I'll just get a couple scriptures, and it'll be edifying unto the elect, the ones who are watching and as well as praying. All right, so let's get right into it. This one is from, it says, I think this is Reuters. It says, next door neighbors in Michigan have political worlds apart.
In many neighborhoods across the U.S., here in Plymouth, Michigan, just outside of Detroit, the name on the lawn signs can change from house to house. And during this election season, the political divisions within the neighborhood have never been more apparent. Retired truck driver John Lowen and his wife Nancy say they're voting for 4 more years of Trump.
His accomplishments, forget about him. A lot of people don't like him. Like a lot of people hate him. But you look at his accomplishments and the thing he's done, I mean, they're great. So.
And he wants to take our country in a godly direction, not in a communist direction.
The prospect of a second Trump term is a scary one for Plymouth resident and Biden supporter Alex Morgan. But Morgan, whose neighbor 2 houses down is voting for Trump, says he sees the benefit in having some political diversity in the neighborhood.
Great to have neighbors with different political views because, well, hey, I don't know everything, they don't know everything, and if we can perhaps be polite, have polite disagreements, that's okay.
But not all of the political discourse has been this cordial in the neighborhood. Joe Cott said he didn't feel totally comfortable displaying his Trump signs.
But everybody seems to get along. This is the first, like I say, this is the first election where it's gotten a little ugly, and people's stealing lawn signs. It's pretty stupid, I just think the left's just so angry. I've actually been a little bit afraid of putting the sign out in front of my yard, that something was going to happen. And if I was to go out of town or something, my wife would make me take it down, just stupid things have been happening,
The same has happened for Biden supporters, too. Morgan said he decided to fly a Biden flag after 2 of his Biden signs were stolen from his front yard. But in the end, these residents don't want politics to divide their community. Biden supporter James Cullen says it's not the Michigan way.
Even if people have different political opinions, the vast majority of people, do love their neighbors. I think that they need to find a better expression of how they love their neighbors. And I think that this state can do a lot better.
So, all right, that's one. Okay, we have these people talking about their political stance, and it's causing friction. All right, and it's not just with your political stance, but it's a plethora of things, because ultimately the Lord is controlling all these spirits, and as it is written that He was going to set the Egyptian versus the Egyptian. I'll get that real quick. And Salakia, if I'm sounding a little low, I'm a little under the weather. So Baba Kasha, just bear with me. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 2, it says, I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So, even though you might have this hope that people can love their neighbors, clearly that is not what is happening in reality. All right, a lot of people are out of touch with reality. All right, even though you had a study that came out that said 77% of Americans believe that there is some type of violence will happen during this week or the upcoming weeks because of this election. So the mass people, the majority of people, they sense what's in the air. All right, because as it says in verse 3, the first part, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. All right, and that's what's happening. The spirit of Egypt is failing, and now people just have this notion of wanting to just get violent, man. The season that we're in is a season of war. It's a season of hate, not the season of love or peace. Okay, so let's get another video. So get back to the YouTube. And we're going to check out this one right here from Inside Edition.
5G just got real. iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro are here on Verizon 5G with the coverage of 5G nationwide and in more cities, the performance of 5G ultra wideband. Get iPhone 12 on us when you switch. Only on Verizon.
All right, and that 5G is going to play a very major role. They're promoting that heavy, during this time, man. That 5G is going to play a very major role in this upcoming beast system that they are implementing. It's already rolled out. They already got the blueprints for it. They already got the architecture for it, all right? And they're just prepping and fashioning the people's minds to take it, all right? And a lot of it is going to be by way of convenience, all right, or making it seem like it's beneficial, but a lot of it also is going to be because of pressure, all right? The way that this new normal of life is going to be people are going to be pressurized and taking this chip because they're going to trust in man instead of trusting in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, instead of trusting in and fearing the Lord.
America is on edge. A troubling new poll finds 77% of Americans are anticipating some sort of violent reaction to the election. Around the USA, more stores are boarding up, bracing for civil unrest. Big chains are taking steps to protect their merchandise. CVS, which has 10,000 stores nationwide, is leaving it up to local leadership to put up plywood boards. The Gap, which has 2,000 stores, says contingency plans are in place for any issue that may arise. Target, with 1,900 locations, says it was taking precautionary steps to ensure safety. And at the Adidas flagship store on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, they've not only boarded up their windows, they've also put up a sign that reads, "We've closed this store until further notice." At his command center in New York, security expert Pat Brosnan says, in his opinion, violence is inevitable.
The probability of serious violence associated with the election and for days after the election is now in the probable box, no longer possible.
In upscale Beverly Hills.
Now you hear that? That's a very, very bold statement. It's not even in a possible box. It's now probable, meaning it's more than likely going to happen. All right. So wherever it may be, and then there's been videos and pictures circulating around where in Chicago and other parts, I believe, of Spain and Greece. I didn't see those pictures, but I seen a picture of Chicago where they had bricks, magically appeared in front, in downtown Chicago. So, they're trying to set this stage and entice people to, to get chaotic. All right. And whether they have their agent provocateurs to try to ignite it, or whether, people just want to go out there and wild out, ultimately, that's what's going to happen. And that's why they got these military grade trucks and guns and personnel patrolling the streets, because that's ultimately what they want to move the system to. All right. A complete police state. All right. And that's what you people need to, realize. Of course, the ones who have been watching, or the ones who have been, being circumspect, we understand that, what time we're in. But you got a lot of our people that are docile. A lot of our people, even though the writing is on the wall, even though it is plain and clear, you still have a lot of people that think that it's not going to be that bad. All right. But the scriptures tells you that this is the beginning of sorrows. So let me just keep going.
Military-style vehicles on loan from the Santa Paula Police Department will patrol the streets. Did you ever think in your wildest dreams that you would have to do this type of operation for an election?
Never in my wildest dreams.
You believe it's a deterrent?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's in addition to the 80 armed guards from private security firms who've been hired to supplement the Beverly Hills PD. And for at least the next 2 days, the city is closing off world-famous Rodeo Drive. Things are so tense, a radio station in Orlando has decided its listeners are ready to de-stress with soothing Christmas music.
Trying to put those enchantments on them.
Starting Friday, it'll be all Christmas tunes all the time until, well, Christmas. Hey, by then, we should know who wins the election.
Now, did not the Lord say that they were going to try to do this? They were going to try to stand in their enchantments. Let's get that. Hey, man, you devils, or you people out here, y'all are just sheep led to the slaughter, man. Putting on this Christmas caroling music because that's an enchantment. All right, that's why people get all in that jolly, holly spirit during this time. But we just read in Isaiah 19, the spirit of Egypt shall fail. So that's not going to work. This is Isaiah 47, verse 11. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Actually, let me start up a little bit. Isaiah 47, verse 9. But these two things shall come into thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. Okay, so it's going to be perfected. All right, the Lord is not going to miss a beat. He's not going to, the wrath of the Lord is going to be perfected upon this place, man, and upon the evildoers of this place. It says, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for great abundance of thine enchantments, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. That's how these elites think, that they can continue to just, perpetuate wickedness throughout the world. All right, promoting evil. All right, enticing, seducing, our people, the Israelites. All right, and the rest of this world, getting them drunk with the wine of her philosophies, the wine of her fornication. And you think that you're just going to get away with this because the earth has been given into your hand right now. But understand, it was given into your hand. All right. Because the Lord, Heavenly Father, Abanawa, Yahweh, the God of Israel, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, his son, they're ultimately the ones that are in control of all the operations. And they see you, man. And that's why right now, this hell is, coming. It says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. And Esau is perverted, man. All right? Esau is perverted. Let's see. Turn away from God. Yeah, because you just heard that lady. She said that Trump is going to put this country into a God-fearing path. But that is the complete opposite of what Trump is doing, man. All right? He is not spiritual one bit. All right. And it's not meant for him to, because he's an Edomite. And verse 11 says, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. Okay. You're not going to be able to put off this hell. You're not going to be able to put off this, these riots, this anarchy. Now, ultimately, how are they going to put it off? How are they going to subside it? It's just going to be by bringing even more draconian laws, just like how they did with the pandemic, right? They said that the cure was worse than the disease. All right, how they planned on curing the pandemic, how they planned by shutting everything down, closing, stores, everything is closed except essential stores. That actually devastated the economy more than the actual pandemic, so-called COVID, was doing. So you're not gonna be able to put it off because you're just going to add evils upon evils. It says, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now thine with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries. You have that Christmas song and saying that they about to be playing that music, trying to get people into a trance. That's what these people are trying to do. But it's not going to work. It's going to fail. It says, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. Yeah, all their witchcraft, all their enchantments. What's this word, enchantment? Company, band, association, society, magician, charmer, spells. Yeah, all their spells, their secret societies, they're going to continue to try to stand with these things and their sorceries. Wherein thou hast labored from their youth. All right, you had from even the inception of America, you had the Freemasons. Okay, you had the central bankers, where they went to Jekyll Hyde Island. All right, with J.P. Morgan and the Rothschilds and all these people, they set up this whole banking system of the Federal Reserve. They set up the Federal Reserve, which Princeton is a private, owned entity. Okay, and that basically they're the ones who control the whole system, the whole money system here in Babylon. But keep going. It says, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. But you're not going to prevail, man. It's not going to work. So let's get one or two more and I'll close it out. The book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 8. Because Yahweh Shai warned us of these things. I'll read verse 7. I'm going to jump. It says, and they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? So these are signs, man. These are tokens. This is a mark, all right? Let's see, occurrences. So all these things that are happening, they're occurrences, they are marks, a sign, a token. So this is how we are able to confidently say that we are, coming into the last days of the last days of the last days. Because all these things that Yahweh Shah said will precede his coming, they are coming to pass. So I'm going to jump to verse 9. It says, but when ye shall hear of wars, whether it be world war, social wars, race wars, civil wars, all these type of wars are constantly being heard of, constantly being talked about. And commotions. What is commotions? Instability, a state of disorder, disturbance, confusion. All right. That is what is being heard in these streets of Babylon. Why you got all these military grade personnel walking up and down the street, patrolling the streets. Because Babylon is in a state of instability and disorder. But the hopeful elect, we are at perfect peace. It says, be not terrified. And we're not terrified. We're not afraid of these things. For these things must first come to pass. But the end is not by and by. Why? Because these are the beginning of sorrows. And these things are not going to dissipate. They're not going to happen and then leave. And then 5 years from now happen again. No. It's going to get gradually worse and worse. Harder, harsher, more perilous times are coming. People are thinking they're looking forward to 2021 as being something opposite of 2020, but it's actually going to be even worse. People are going to desire to go back into 2020 because of how bad 2021 is. All right. And I ended out with this right here. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 11. It says, for the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying, say ye not a confederacy. When you go into that word confederacy, it says what? A conspiracy. So the Lord is telling the prophets, don't say these things are a conspiracy. To all them, and to all of them to whom this people say a confederacy. Yeah, that's what these people, these unbelievers, they say. They think that, oh, these are just conspiracy theories and X, Y, and Z, and you guys are just bugged out. You guys are crazy. That America would never end up in this type of state of disarray. They'll never bring out the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. They'll never do any of these things. There'll never be a police state. They'll never have FEMA camps. You guys are just conspiracy theorists. Well, the Lord told us, what? Say not a conspiracy. Let's see. This is the NET. It says, indeed, I'm reading this. Indeed, this is what the Lord told me. He took hold of me firmly and warned me not to act like these people. Do not say conspiracy every time these people say the word. Okay? Don't be afraid of what scares them. Don't be terrified. So we're not afraid of these things, man. Okay? Even though the masses of our people are scared, they are leaving, their homes, they're trying to, food prep, buying guns and all these things. But the Lord told us, don't be afraid of what they're afraid of. I'm gonna read it right here. It says like, neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid. Sanctify Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts and himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And that's why we are in a state of calm. We are in a state of excitement, really, when all these things are coming to pass. Because the Lord is our fear, man. If the Lord be with us, who shall be against us? All right, it's also written, fear not him that can kill the body. All right. And the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, did not give us the spirit of fear, but he gave these people the spirit of fear because they don't fear him. The beginning of the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So we have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that gives us this stability, while these people are being shaken up in a state of disarray, a state of disorder, because they don't have that wisdom, all right, of the Lord. So now they're fearing what they see. So, I'll end it there, Lord willing. This was edifying unto the elect, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakha Kodash, Wa Ababa Ba. Shalom.